Hey everybody, it's John from the Crafty Decorator. So I'm doing a quick video today. Sherry is down for the count. Took her down to the clinic, found out that she has strep throat. So she's sleeping over here on the couch. I'm gonna try to be a little quiet. I know everybody says I'm too quiet as it is. So I have the phone kind of set up here so I can show you what I'm doing. I'm gonna make her some healing soup today. It's a chicken soup that has turmeric and ginger and garlic and onion. And I looked up online while I was sitting in the clinic waiting for her to try to find something that'll kind of help her for her cold. So I'm going to give you the ingredients really quick. There's 2 tablespoons of butter that I have melted here in my pot. And I have 2 cups each of an onion and celery that I chopped up. I have 1.5 tablespoons of fresh grated ginger. I got everything all prepared here, right? 3 cloves of garlic. We did some chicken thighs yesterday for the kids before they left. Before John and Amanda left with the kids, wanted to give them dinner before they left. I made some chicken thighs. I had some leftover chicken. So I just used up the thighs. You can use a rotisserie chicken or any kind of chicken you want. You can actually just buy some breasts and brown it up. But I had pre-cooked chicken, so I just have it. That's how I kind of set it up. This was interesting. It had sweet potatoes. I found one. It was called, I'll post the link from where I found one that had sweet potatoes in it. So sweet potatoes are rich in vitamin B6 and vitamin A. So I'm going to put this in here for her, but I chopped them up in a little dice. Of course, it has to have our turmeric in it. So I have about a tablespoon of ground turmeric in here. We use some salt and pepper. I have about a tablespoon of fresh thyme that I chopped up and a bay leaf. This uses bone broth. So instead of using regular stock, we're using bone broth because bone broth does have more vitamins in it and more nutrients. And then when it's all done and after we simmer it, we're going to add our chicken in. I'll tell you how it all goes. But then I have this is a 5-ounce container of baby kale. So kale, of course, has a lot of vitamins in it. And I have the zest of a lemon, the juice of a lemon. I'm getting further and further away from you here. I kind of had to squeeze it all in. And a cup of coconut milk. And that's going to get added in. But right now, we're just going to add the onion and the celery into the pot. And get that softened up. And I will post the recipe later. I did write one up. So as usual, I'll take a couple of different recipes that I find and I'll mess with them and kind of change them up to what I feel like seems simple to me and seems like the way I would kind of do it. What I like to do, I'm going to take some of this salt and pepper now. And I like to season as I go. So I'll always add a little bit of seasoning right now, salt and pepper. Just on this celery and onion. So yeah, we had Sherry check and she thank gosh she doesn't have RSV. She doesn't have COVID. She got all those tests, but she does have strep. And she's kind of wore out. So we're kind of hoping that we get her through that in the next day or so. We did give her a Z-Pack, so she took her first doses of that. And we'll get through that in the next few days. And we'll get her as much rest as we can. And I'll make her some good soups. So once we get this softened up, we can add our garlic and our ginger. I don't like to cook the garlic too much. I don't ever want to burn the garlic or the ginger. But we'll add that in there. And we'll cook this up till we start smelling it good. You know, it'll get fragrant. It'll get fragrant and we don't want to burn the garlic. But You'll start smelling that real soon. So I thought this was interesting because of the different ingredients that are in it. I did read some that had zucchini in it because of the vitamins that are in the zucchini. I just thought this time of year the sweet potatoes were a good idea. And I'll add a little bit of starchiness, and maybe it'll thicken it up a little bit when we're done. I don't know, but we'll sure find out, right? This is all new. Never did this before. So then we're going to add these sweet potatoes. I want to get them coated up with the butter and get them incorporated. And again, like I say, as I go, I'll get a little more sprinkle of salt and a couple grains of pepper. I like to get these anytime I have like a hard vegetable like this. If I'm going to cook them in a stock or a soup or broth, just get them coated with the butter and allow them to start cooking a little bit before we add the broth. So next we can add our bone broth. There's 6 cups I'm going to use, so there's about 4 cups in one of these containers, so I'll use about a container and a half. We can start raising that heat up now, because we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we'll turn it down to a simmer and we'll let it simmer a good 30-40 minutes so that we can incorporate all these flavors and get the sweet potatoes cooked down. Again, I didn't measure, but that's about 6 cups. It's about a container and a half. We'll get this cranked up. We're going to simmer this. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to simmer it. And I'll let it simmer for about 30 minutes. When it's done simmering, then I could add my cooked chicken in. We don't really need to add that cooked chicken anytime sooner than that. It's already fully cooked. Oh gosh, how about if I put the rest of the ingredients in, right? There's a bay leaf and the thyme and our turmeric. So we put that in. That goes in with the stock. And then we're going to let it simmer and incorporate all those flavors. So it's going to have a nice golden color, I'm assuming, when it's all done, of course, because of the turmeric. So a lot of these things that are in here, like the bone broth, is rich in minerals. I'm just reading some notes I read about some of these things as I was reading all these different soup recipes, these curing or healing soups. You know, obviously everybody knows that turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. I have liquid turmeric that my son John gave me for Christmas, so I take that every day, a little dropper, for my arthritis. I do have some arthritis and osteopenia, so I like to take that. Of course, ginger has its antioxidants and antibacterial functions, and then the kale is rich in vitamins, and of course lemon. The lemon's going to have vitamin C. So it kind of all makes sense that it's all added in here. So yeah, we're going to bring this to a boil, simmer it, and then maybe later on we'll come back on. We'll show you the finished product. What we're going to do when we get to after 30 minutes, we'll add the chicken. We'll stir in our kale and let it cook for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We'll add our lemon zest and our lemon juice, if I don't spill it. Then we'll pull it off the heat, and then stir in that coconut milk. And hopefully we'll get Sherry to have a little bit of it, and hopefully she'll be feeling a little better. So that's all, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.